Heading into the weekend, there are still 15 undefeated teams in college football coming up. I will be letting you know which 4 you should be betting against on Saturday. Plus, over in the NFL, I've got a way you can bet both the first and last games on Sunday. Stay tuned for that. Welcome to the Power 5 guys here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. I am the appropriately named Bryan Power. If you haven't already checked it out, there is a midweek edition of the Power 5 that's still worth the watch. Talked about some of the biggest line moves in both college football and the NFL for this week and whether I agree or disagree with them. But now it's time for 5 free plays. Go ahead, smash that like button whenever you do agree. We start with Air Force UNLV, 3:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Hate is a strong word, so instead I will tell you that I strongly dislike this UNLV team, which somehow comes into Saturday still sporting an undefeated 1-loss record. Nothing personal about Dan Mullen and the Rebels, but this 5-0 record of theirs, completely fraudulent. Okay, we're talking Bernie Madoff territory here. UNLV was outgained by an FCS team, Idaho State, in their season opener, but that's nothing compared to what we've seen from the Rebels the last 2 games. First, they rallied back from a 14-point fourth-quarter deficit against a very banged-up Miami of Ohio team that lost its starting quarterback, not to mention its starting center and 2 defensive starters. In the first quarter, over the course of the game, Daquan Finn, the quarterback for Miami of Ohio, went down in the first quarter when Miami of Ohio had a 2-touchdown lead. The game-winning field goal UNLV kicked in that game against Miami of Ohio was made possible only by Miami of Ohio fumble inside the red zone when they were going in for what looked like the game-winning score. Then, last week, the Rebels returned not 1, but 2 block punts for touchdowns in snowy Wyoming. Come on, man. We're taking the points here with Air Force this week. Yes, the Flyboys defense, it has been really bad, but they can move the ball on offense. Number 16 in yards per play. If you caught this week's edition of the Blitz with myself, Ralph Michaels, and Steve Merrill, you heard Ralph talk about how teams often struggle to cover the week after playing at elevation in Wyoming. That's UNLV here. Meanwhile, I like service academies in the underdog role. Air Force +7 is the bet to make here. Number 2, Navy at Temple. This is 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. I just said I like to bet on service academies when they're in the underdog role. Well, here, 5-0 Navy is favored on the road and taking money. The midshipmen are up to 10.5-point favorites at Temple. I say this line's gotten too big. Let's punch back at the market a little bit here. Take a Temple team that just upset UTSA last week, 27-21 as 6.5-point underdogs here in Philly. In fact, Temple's now 4-1 ATS on the season. The only team they didn't cover against was Oklahoma. Quarterback Evan Simon, he's got a 12 to nothing TD to INT ratio, 12 touchdown passes, no interceptions on the season. Head coach Casey Keeler for Temple, he's now 7-2 ATS all time in the home dog role, going back to his time with Sam Houston. Meanwhile, Navy sails in off the close win against Air Force last week. Those commander-in-chief games typically take a lot out of teams. To that point, Navy just 4-7 ATS this week, 4-7 ATS the week after playing Air Force. Again, this line has gotten too high. I'd bet Temple getting double digits. Number 3, let's go Kansas +14.5 at number 9, Texas Tech, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. I like this Texas Tech team. I have bet them to win the Big 12. The Red Raiders have started 5-0 straight up and against the spread. They rank number 2 in the country in yards per play, yards per game, and scoring margin. However, this is the time to step in and fade them. Why would I say that? Well, they're laying double digits to a very capable Kansas team here. Yeah, the Jayhawks got a little lucky last week in the win over UCF, who lost their starting quarterback and got stopped at the goal line late. But this is a Kansas 400. Sign me up for Kansas +14.5 there. Number 4, we're going to be talking about BYU, number 18 BYU at Arizona, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Again, if you caught this week's edition of the Blitz, you heard me talk about this game already. Sure, BYU is ranked and undefeated, but look at who they've played. Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina, Colorado, and West Virginia. Real rogues gallery there. I bet against the Cougars in that game against Colorado. Ended up being a winning bet. even though BYU did come back and win the game. Obviously, they are undefeated still, after all. But BYU only won at Colorado by 3 points as a touchdown favorite. They had to rally from an early double-digit hole. This is now BYU's third road game in 4 weeks, guys. That's always a tough spot. Plus, they've got the Holy War against Utah on deck. So it seems like a good time to call for the Cougars to suffer their first loss here. I know we lost with Arizona 2 weeks ago at Iowa State, but the Wildcats at home, a perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread. This game is being played in Tucson. And you talk about what Arizona's done at home. How about it last week? An easy 41-13 victory over Oklahoma State as a 3-touchdown favorite. Wildcats, they were a big favorite there. Like I said, as a home underdog, last 5 times they've been a home underdog, Zona's 4-1 against the number. And we've got to talk about their defense, which has held 3 of their 4 FBS opponents to season lows in total yardage. Not only that, but the secondary for the Wildcats has been outstanding. 7 interceptions, no touchdown passes allowed. Arizona outright is the call here. Guys, if you like what you've been hearing so far, then you're definitely going to want to head on over to wt.buzz/BP. Click the link in the description below. That's where you'll find all of my top plays for the weekend. Currently, I have 5 college football bets for Saturday. You can get all 5 for just $29, or get all 5 college football plays plus Sunday and Monday's NFL for just $49. All of it. The next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all my football plays for just $49 using that Weekend Warrior Pass. You've been hearing about it. It's very popular here. We've been talking about it a lot on the show. Let me throw it up on the screen for you. Every single thing I release. And as a special bonus, Monday Night Football, I'm going to have a Monday Night Football play this week for sure. Again, only $49. And if you want to subscribe long term, well, we talked about this on the Blitz as well. Special offer just for you guys watching. You can take 25% off the cost of a season-long football pass, whether it's college, NFL, or the college NFL combo, all the football. To get the 25% discount, you use coupon code 25BLITZ. That's 25BLITZ. Use that at checkout to get the 25% discount. I am up over 40 units in college football since November of 2023. That includes winning my biggest bet of the season to date, a 5% on Cincinnati last Saturday. And in the NFL, I'm now coming off back-to-back monster outright winners with Jacksonville Monday night and the Giants Thursday night. This Sunday, I've got maybe the best situational spot you'll find all year. So head on over to wt.buzz/BP to start winning today. Heading into Friday, I've gone a perfect 3-0 over all the last 3 days, not just cashing the outright winner with the Giants on Thursday, but we had the 5% max bet in MLB with the Cubs on Wednesday. So again, I think that speaks for itself. All right, let's wrap things up with a play in the NFL. I'm going to give you a teaser bet involving the first and last games on Sunday. Broncos -1 and Lions +8.5 is the teaser. You go back to the midweek edition of the Power 5. I talked about how I disagree with the way the line is moving for the Sunday night game between the Lions and Chiefs. Kansas City's taking money. Sure, they might win this one, but not by margin. And you can't forget this Detroit team, by far, has been the best ATS team in the league over the last 50 games. It's ridiculous. So getting more than a possession with Detroit, even on the road against a desperate KC team, sounds like a good deal to me. For the other teaser leg, let's take the Broncos down to -1. Seems ideal. My power ratings indicate that the current spread with them facing the Jets overseas is actually too short. You don't really think the 0-5 Jets are going to go international and pick up their first win, do you? Favorites have been great in these international games. 37-14-1 straight up, 33-19 ATS after the Vikings win and cover last week. Again, just asking the Broncos to win here by more than a point. That doesn't seem like asking too much. All right, recap time here on the show. Set out we would be betting against 4 undefeated teams in college football on Saturday. Let's go through that again. Air Force +7 at UNLV. Temple +10.5 at home versus Navy. Number 3, Kansas +14.5 at Texas Tech. Arizona money line. Take them outright to beat BYU. And then in the NFL, 2-team 6-point teaser, Broncos and Lions tease through those key numbers of 7 and 3. All right. Let me know what you think of that down in the comments section below. Let us know what you're going to be betting on this weekend as well. Always love when you guys keep it interactive. Love seeing your guys' bets. If there's a game I didn't touch on here on the Power 5, you want my opinion on it, ask away. I'll be more than happy to oblige if I see the question in time. One more time, wt.buzz/BP is the place to go. Weekend Warrior Pass. Got to get it by Saturday. You get all the Saturday college football, all the Sunday NFL, and as a free bonus, Monday Night Football as well. $49. I am a perfect 3-0 the last 3 days heading into Friday. Don't forget to both like and subscribe. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.